Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while. Been on lockdown like the rest of you guys. But it's a beautiful April day in southern Indiana. I'm in Morgan-Monroe State Forest. I'm gonna try to do the Low Gap Trail today. It's about a 10-mile loop. I've been out here before. You've seen me do the Three Lakes loop in a previous video. Three Lakes Trail. This is kind of next to that out here. It's another 10-mile loop that I've never done before. You're actually allowed to camp on this loop in the backcountry, which I'm not doing tonight. I'm just kind of doing a day hike here to check it out because I do want to camp back there pretty soon. But yeah, you can tell spring is springing in Indiana. Let's go. So I actually started on the Mason Ridge Trail. It kind of parallels this ridge portion of the Low Gap. I took that because it's actually a real trail. The Low Gap portion of this start was actually like a bike path, which is kind of lame. This is my first road crossing. This trail also coincides with the Tecumseh Trail, which is a long distance trail in southern Indiana. I think it goes like 42 miles, something like that. But the Low Gap and the Tecumseh kind of coexist here for a little bit. But anyway, here's the bike path that the map tells you that is the Low Gap Trail, but I instead took that real trail on the other side of the road for that portion. Tecumseh Trail, we are on it. All the white blazes. Tecumseh Trail goes off that way. The Low Gap keeps going straight down this gravel road. Now I've heard stories about this gravel road. It's like a couple miles long, kind of the boring part of the trail, but it's part of the trail. But it's how you get to the backcountry in the very back end. So I'm gonna suck it up and take it and get back there. So this is the going to be my view for a few miles. I won't bore you with this, but I kind of wanted to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with here. I knew this was part of the trail, like I said earlier, but I could have taken this loop back the other way, but I'd rather just knock this part out in the beginning or towards the beginning. I already did like a mile and a half to get here. I think this might be like a mile and a half, 2 miles long. I can't remember this portion, but I want to show you some of the pretty budding trees. I think these are, I'm not sure what kind they are, dogwoods maybe? Maybe not. Pretty purple tree though. So people actually live on this road apparently. Pretty nice properties back here. This is the second one I've passed. Well, I guess I was wrong about this gravel road ending. I just come down that. That was about a mile from where I started. And I thought maybe that would have ended here, up into the woods here, but it looks like the gravel continues for a while longer. This time straight up. Well, I finally finished the road. You can see behind me here, Low Gap Nature Preserve. That's the trail I'll be going on next to kind of head my direction. There we go, I had the camera going the wrong way. So there's the real trail I'll be on, the Low Gap. Now the Tecumseh Trail continues on this gravel road for a while, but I just came from that way. By the way, that was about a 2¼ not quite 2.5 miles of that gravel road. Not very appetizing. But I decided to do it in the front half instead of the second half. That way I wasn't as tired, and I have more to look forward to now that way. Whereas if I'd done this at the end, I would have had nothing to look forward to but that crap to finish my hike out. I also messed up on the water situation. Now don't worry, I got plenty of water for me to drink. But my plan was to make lunch out here. I brought some dehydrated chili, got my canister cook stove there. But I forgot to bring my extra bottle of water I was going to use for that. Now I have water in my hydration bag here. As you can see, I've used about half of it now. I'm almost halfway through the trip, so I need that just to drink from my body. I mean, I can't cook with any of that. So and it sucks because I had like a bowl of cereal at like 8:30 this morning. It's about 3 o'clock right now, so I haven't had lunch. I did have a protein bar when I first started this hike about an hour ago or so, but I do have some trail mix, some nuts and dried cherries and stuff, but I'm doing okay. I got about 6 miles to go. Probably another 3 miles, about another 3 miles I'll probably eat some of my snacks. But that's plenty of water though for 6 miles for me, because it's not really hot out. It's warm though. I mean, check it out. This is the first time I got my shorts on. This is my first spring summer hiking attire. All my other videos you've seen so far this year, I've been for winter. Well, not really winter, but you know, winter days. but more look at the forest. I mean, you can kind of see we're starting to get buds on the trees. Kind of hear some cool creaking up there. But I'm gonna put the pack back on and head down that trail since I can't eat. Man, it's nice to be back on a real trail. Got the double blaze, you got the Tecumseh and the low gap. So right now I'm walking across what they call Shipman Ridge, I believe. A nice path here. Kind of see the ridge goes downhill over there and also over here. Still cruising along this ridge back here. We're actually starting to go down. You kind of see some switchbacks going on down here. Super nice day, man. Probably in the low 70s, kind of breezy. But shout out to Lori, I believe, fellow hiker I just met, crossing paths back here. We talked for about 5 minutes. Really nice person. It seems like she's the only person I've actually seen on this trail so far. So kind of cool. So it's a good trail. I know it's Thursday afternoon, but you know, a lot of people aren't working. I guess they're working from home, but so am I, but I'm actually off today. I'm only working 50% of what I used to. I was cut back 50% during this ordeal, but thankful to still have a job and thankful to be able to hike in beautiful country like this on my days off. This is actually the first time I've got out with my backpack since the whole shutdown started. For the most part, 99% of the time I'm in my apartment. I don't go anywhere. But man, you got to get out once in a while. But I figure this is as good a spot as any to get out and enjoy the outdoors without being around people. I tried Eagle Creek Park last week. You may have seen a picture I put online on the Instagram. It's kind of funny because the city they shut down vehicular traffic to Eagle Creek Park, thinking that would stop people from going out there. So my bright idea was, hey, I'll just walk into the park. There won't be anybody there. It'd be awesome. Well, me and everybody else in the city had the same idea, because the first hour I was there wasn't bad, but when I was walking out at 2 o'clock, just in a 5-minute window of me walking out of the park at the entrance, I counted no less than 60, 70 people walking in at the same time. It's like, man, I can't go back there anymore unless it's like in the morning. But Meantime, looks like I'm going downhill now into this little valley. Really nice out here. I'm gonna put the hammer down and crank out a few miles here. I'll get back with you. This must be the low part of the low gap, because all of a sudden it has flattened out. Kind of see it that way. Walking into a little pine section too. It's kind of cool. Early spring. Beautiful day. You know, there's a little stream down here, so I could easily grab some water and boil, filter and boil, and have my lunch that I've been craving for 2 hours. But I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm not feeling the hunger that much right now, and I'm in the groove, and I got trail mix nuts and stuff, so I'll just munch on that here in a little bit. Looks like some trail helpers have done a good job of clearing out these down trees. See some obvious chainsaw action here. Clearing those blowdowns out. Somebody's built a serious bushcraft fort back here. How cool is this? Has Joe Robinette been out here? Kidding. Look him up. He's a YouTuber that builds crap like this out in the woods up in Canada. Moving on. It's a good campsite here. Nice open area. Some flat spots for tents, fire pit. Next to water. I could imagine in the summer this is dry as a bone, because here it is spring and there's barely a ripple in here. This must definitely be the low gap area of the low gap trail, because we are low and it's pretty. You can see the tent up ahead, got some campers. I'll turn the video off to give them some privacy. Well, I crossed this stream again, so I decided to go ahead and get some water. Got about half a bag, probably about 16 ounces, couple cups. That's enough to make my chili. I can filter that out with my squeeze filter that goes with this, then boil it. Should be great. Actually, it will be great, good. But I'm not gonna eat just yet. I'm gonna kind of keep going a little bit further, knock a few more miles out. But I'm getting really hungry. Across the mini wheats at 8:30 a.m. only go so far. I'm 6 miles into my hike and it's 4:00 p.m. So that's probably why I don't keep going, because I need to get out of here by 6, or at least I want to. It didn't get dark till like 8 or 8:30, so I'm not worried about that, but I don't want to be out here all day. But All right, here we go. Well, as you can probably hear, I decided to stop and boil my water. Just right here on the trail. Nobody out here. There were four people just walked by, but not a big deal. This has literally been on for like maybe 30 seconds. And it's already starting to bubble. It boils really fast. But when that's done, I'm gonna pour that in my dehydrated black bark chili from Alpine Air Foods. I've never tried it. It's something I found at REI last fall. But telling you anything, it tastes good right now. I'm so hungry. But it takes about 15 minutes to soak. So what I'm gonna do is when that water gets done boiling, I'm just gonna pour it in here, throw it in my pack, and walk about a mile, then stop and eat. But yeah, I'm kind of halfway up this ridge hill. The creek is down there from where the last video was. But I'll check it with you in here a little bit. Can somebody tell me what kind of snake that is? He's alert, at attention. He's a baby. I'll leave him alone in case Mama's around somewhere. I know there are timber rattlers around here and copperheads, and I know they're out now, but I have no idea what kind of snake that was. By the way, as you can see, hill time. I actually welcome it. Kind of boring down there in the bottom. By the way, my chili is stewing in my backpack. I'm gonna stop and eat it here at the top of this hill. So I went up the top of that ridge after I saw that little snake. My food was bursting or soaking in my backpack. There was a nice camp spot up there at the top with places to sit down, but that's where I was planning on eating or hoping to eat. But as I walked over to it, I saw a girl with her dog sitting over there, and I didn't want to freak her out. You know, some random dude walking up to a girl and her dog in the middle of the woods. That's not very cool. So I kept going. And then I found these stumps about a half mile ahead. And by the way, my chili's in this little cup here. I normally eat straight out of that bag, but my long spoon is not in my backpack. I know I packed it this morning. I remember putting it in there. I'm betting it's in the trunk of my car because I took some stuff out to rearrange some stuff before I hit the trailhead. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be drinking some chili. Oh my gosh. Frosted mini wheats at 8:30. Hiking 7 miles. Chili at 4 or 5, whatever time it is. Pretty good. I'm gonna slurp this down, then finish these last 3 miles out. I'll check with you later. So I'm back on it. Man, the chili that was amazing. I'll tell you what, man, I was starting to not enjoy the last part of this hike because I was getting to be pretty miserable. I was so hungry and demoralized. It's amazing if I just stop for 20 minutes and eat my damn food. I feel so much better. Looking forward to knocking this last 3 miles out. But a bummer though is I've lost my my Ray-Ban shades at some point on this trail. I don't know. I'm definitely not backtracking. I mean, I've had them for 5 or 6 years. I've replaced lenses. I've even replaced frames. Hell, it's a whole new pair. I've replaced parts over the years, but I think I got my $150 worth out of them. I remember where the few times I stopped, I'm sure it's laying somewhere where I stopped. And the places I did stop was like on the side of a trail on a log. I don't know. Next time I come out here, I'll check in those spots, and if they're there, I'll grab them. If not, no big deal. But yeah, I'm gonna knock these last 3 miles out. Trying something different here. We'll see how this looks. I basically have this camera sitting right on my shoulder. It's not really secured, it's just like in a little pouch. We'll see if the handle that's on is in view. Hopefully not. But anyway, going down this ridge, it crests at the top. There are some, I'm about to hit the, still in the backcountry part of Low Gap Trail. And there's a lot of campsites back here. Some are more prominent than others. There are some 2 or 3 really prominent ones that are pretty big. There are some smaller ones too. The smaller ones I saw though were like right on the trail, like right beside it, which isn't very cool. You're not supposed to be right on the trail like that. So I would not stay in one of those. But it's a nice variety in this backcountry. You see a lot of ridge walking, some ups, some downs. And the ups don't go forever. I mean, I think the biggest uphill was like maybe half mile, 3/4 of a mile. Kind of like this downhill I'm going on right now. I'm eventually going to get down to Low Gap Road again. Remember the last time I crossed it, I was in the middle of that gravel road section. The road was like the halfway point of the gravel section. And when I get down here, I'll get to the road again, only on the other side of the trail. But this trail is like a big square. I've already done 3 sides and I'm on the 4th side right now. So I'm about 7.5 miles in. Feel great. I'll tell you what, man, I really miss warm weather hiking, mainly because I can wear my trail runners. I wore my my Oboz boots all winter in my hiking. When they're great for winter hiking, they're waterproof, feet will stay dry. But man, there's nothing like a good old tennis shoe trail runners. Because after 7 or 8 miles in my winter boots, man, I was starting to get pretty sore. But I don't know, I feel pretty good right now. Almost 8 miles in, feet don't hurt at all, so I like it. Give you a view of this bridge coming up here. First bridge crossing I've seen on the trail. Low Gap Trail, beautiful day. Here are my trail runners I have for hiking. Ultra, Long Peak, I believe, 4.0. Long something, I can't remember. I haven't worn these since last fall. I just bought them last fall, but they're big in the hiking world. They have a big wide toe box, plenty of room for your toes to move around. They have a flat bottom. There's no arch digging into your feet, but I have flat feet anyway, so no arch is awesome for me. But yeah, I'll get back with you here in a little bit. Looks like I made it to the Low Gap Road again. There's actually a legit parking lot here on this creek. I'll have to remember this if I ever want to camp back here. I may just park here, use this parking as a base. Yeah, but I believe I crossed this road here and the trail continues over there somewhere, but I'll find it. So a tip for you, when you come across that bridge in this parking lot, come up these steps. Continues right across the trail over there. I made a mistake of walking over to that side of the lot and I was kind of confused on where the cars enter. I was like, where's the trail? Saw the white blaze here. realize the error of my ways. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Ignore the road noise. I'm still beside this road, but one thing I really loved about going out west last fall to Colorado was all the pine trees and the smell of the pine in the forest just everywhere. We just don't have that in Indiana. Not very much anyway. But every once in a while you come across a section of pine. You see the needles on the path here. It smells so good. Just a little tiny pocket of Indiana that reminds me of being out west. So I was walking up this ridge around the corner, saw this really random small pond. Must be a natural spring under it or something, or somewhere in the perimeter. Because I certainly don't see a stream leading into it anywhere. It's all elevated around it. Not sure I'd want to camp around here. Mosquito heaven. Actually, I'm on this side of Low Gap Road, so there's no camping around here, this side anyway. All camping is on the back side of Low Gap Road, which I showed you a lot of back in there. So if you look at these trees here, give you an example up close. See how they're just like sawed off? I know you can't see because they're far away, but this entire slope in the woods here, all the smaller trees have been chopped off. You can see all those little small stumps all the way through there. I'm guessing it's a way for the forest people to kind of clear out the forest. It's not really logging though. I mean, these are tiny trees. I don't know if it's good for the forest to be thinned out like that, to allow vegetation to grow. Not sure. Kind of an interesting sight though. Thought I'd share. That guy was like, I don't know what kind of snake that was. It didn't look too aggressive though. I don't think it was a rattler or a copperhead. But that thing is like right on the trail and I never even saw it. You gotta pay attention out here, man. I like took a step and I saw something move like behind me. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell was that? I looked back and that big ass black snake was like right there. Keep your eyes open, kids. So I made it back to the, not back, but I made it to the rock shelter turn off. If you remember if you remember my first video I did in Morgan-Monroe State Forest, this is my third. But if you go back to the first one, you'll recognize this sign. I had come from that direction, the rock shelter trail loop. I pointed this way for the backcountry for Low Gap into Tecumseh, and that way's to the trailhead. Well, I'm going back to the trailhead because that's where my car's at. I'm about 9.5 miles into this Low Gap, so I'm almost done with it. Now you could easily continue the Low Gap or add on to the Low Gap by turning left here and going down to the rock shelter loop. It actually circles back around over in there and up and back up to the trailhead where I'll end up. but I got my 9.5 miles in, and this actually is the low gap trail going up here. So that's my goal today, is the low gap trail. But I highly recommend the rock shelter loop. There's some really cool rock formations down there, geological formations like canyon type ravines. Really cool. But for now, back to the trailhead. I'll get back with you at the car. You know, this last mile or so, getting back to the car is a road walk as well on this side of the loop. But you know, after knocking out the last 9.5 miles, it's actually kind of welcome right now. Nice, easy walking. Well, that's it. Knocked out about 10.25 miles of the low gap trail here in Morgan-Monroe State Forest. Just a little south of Martinsville, a little north of Bloomington. Something to like this place. This is my third trip here. Did the Three Lakes Trail, did the shelter loop, which is only about 3 or 4 miles, not very long, but this one, the low gap, I wanted to scout out for camping. But I saw some good camping in the backcountry, but looking forward to that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and haven't been making as many videos because of the lockdown, and I really haven't got out much at all, but I just had to get out today. But beautiful day, but hopefully I can get some more of these for you soon.